You are watching a special edition of the Independence Day Perfect Lineup where Josh Engleman and myself look to, let's say, further along our journey to financial freedom by taking that. Not bad, huh? Not bad. I had that one planned. That's taking good. Down a tournament today. Look, not a bad day yesterday. We had the third highest scoring stack. Chris Bassett, rough start. But you know what? It's not how you start, fellas. It's how you finish. 5 2/3, coughed up 3, but had 9 Ks. And then Dustin May straight dominated the White Sox. But we've got Coors Field. You've also got this athletics park today and a heap of terrible, terrible pitchers. So as we always do, 2 pitchers, a stack, let the single lineup sim do the rest of the work. And of course, if you guys are looking to simply get a free week of sims for yourself, comment down below with who you think is going to be the highest scoring stack on tonight's slate. And if you're right, there's a damn good chance. If you're the only one to guess it, you are getting a week of sims. Otherwise, Josh is spinning the wheel. But brother, I must say, number one, happy 4th of July. Love the get. Can you show everybody the full get up by any chance?
Wall-to-wall hot dogs.
There it is.
Wall hot dogs.
There it is. And we've also got the socks going today as well. You got to get in the spirit. Appreciate Independence Day. This may not be the happiest time for some people. And in the betting and DFS space, bad things could be coming. I still think they're going to reverse the provision. I'm not panicking quite yet. I'll panic when it's time to panic. You know what I mean?
I'm not sweating it.
Anyway, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And one more thing before we do this. We've got the biggest sale we've done in, honestly, maybe a year. Like maybe more than a year. When's the last time we've given 50% off, not just like any weekly or any core, but any weekly or monthly package, including max, including all access core, including all access max, across the board, 50% off everything with code USA. And all you have to do is click that link in the description, use USA at checkout. Look at the range of options that we have for weekly or monthly. Even if you're just debating it, there might be something for you. 50% off. Yeah. It's over after today. Today is the last day we're running this sale. It's the best one we've ever done.
I can't remember a single time where we've offered a bigger sale. That this is to be able to hit everything, whatever you're looking for, you're covered. I mean, this is the best one we've had. And you only got
use the code USA.
What? 12 hours left.
Description. Yep. USA link in the description. Any weekly or monthly, including any max or all access or any core weekly, whatever you want, 50% off. You ready to hit these pitchers?
We got to do it. I'm excited to at least hear one of them. I know what you have now. It's different. Normally I'm letting it rip. I don't totally know what's going to be going on. But today you're going to talk about a pitcher that I want to hear about.
Yeah. Well, first up, low hanging fruit. I didn't really want to do it, but I already did run the sims. They're giving us a ton of him, and it makes sense when you and I kind of digested this slate a little because it's so easy to get everywhere else. Yeah, and pitching's bad. Spencer Strider. Look, I prefer him to be a lefty because the Baltimore Orioles are significantly worse against lefties. I mean, they're bad against lefties. Yeah. They're much better against righties, but I still have to pull the trigger here because you can pay up, and then the rest of pitching is brutal. So the only other option would be like, well, you know what? I'll wait for the second guy, but I want to plug Strider in here. I actually don't, but I feel like we have to. The slider is working much better recently. We'll take that. You got no winds blowing out, no considerable weather. He's still a good pitcher with elite strikeout stuff. The velocity was back up his last 2 starts. I'm going there. Now the second one, before we get into the stack, this is where it gets gross. I really think there are only 2 good options here. Okay. One of them is Erod. He's looked much better lately. The strikeout stuff looks great. Kansas City is a bottom team across the board when it comes to facing right-handed pitchers. Not a ton of power. Problem is they really don't strike out. Second lowest K rate. You're talking sub 17% on the active roster against, lefties and righties alike. Erod's a lefty. But besides the point, this is simply not a team that strikes out a lot. So I'm going to do something that feels a little bit uncomfortable, Josh. I'm going to go to Eric Loughran. Now, if you wanted to go to Erod, I think that's a perfectly reasonable pivot. And today I know for a fact, probably my 3 most exposed pitchers will be Strider, Erod, and Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer, this is going to be a feast or famine spot, boom or bust. The Angels, a lot of power against righties. However, the only team that strikes out more against righties this season is the Colorado Rockies, and they don't really count because they're not a real baseball team. Against lefties. Again, dude, how am I getting these lefties and righties so wrong? The only team
you already drunk for the 4th?
I know, I haven't had a sip. The only team that strikes out the same amount against lefties is the Baltimore Orioles. The Angels have a 26.6% K rate against lefties, highest in the league along with Baltimore. They also have a top 5 ISO. So this is, again, boom or bust spot. I'm willing to go there, especially given that outside of the power, they have an 82 WRC plus against lefties. So yeah, like this could actually be a spot where Lauer goes 6 innings, 2 earned on solo shots with 8 Ks, and I'd be perfectly fine with it on a bad pitching slate.
Do I like Eric Lauer? No, but at least based on everything I'm seeing in the top pitchers tool, not pulling the same ownership as Erod and the same price tag, basically the same top 2 pitcher odds and top 2 value odds. I think we're saving a little bit of ownership here. I like it.
Yeah, me too. And look, you'll as silly as this sounds, I think there actually is upside with Eric Lauer today. I almost think there's more upside than Erod, and I think Erod's maybe safer, but let's not kid ourselves. Erod's not safe.
No, not at all. I mean, we're talking about a gap in 4 percentage points of top 2 pitcher odds. That might as well be the same number.
Exactly. He has a 2.5 earned run prop with juice to the under. And on FanDuel and Circa and Penny, Eric Lauer has a 5.5 K prop today.
I think we're in good shape to start because obviously Strider's great. Like Strider's the only real starter on this. I mean, I guess Chris Bubich from a price perspective, but yeah, we're in good shape. You've left me a pretty decent chunk of salary to use for the first time in ages. I feel like you've been hanging me out to dry for the past 2 weeks.
Yesterday, what are you talking about? Yesterday, I went with Dustin May at 78, Chris Bassett at 76. I gave you like as much as you need. And by the way, those guys were great. We didn't have Soriano, who ended up being the top dog, but you didn't need those 2 guys were great. And I gave you plenty of salary, so I'm giving you back-to-back days.
That's fair. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good. I think this is the first time that I have gone back to back with the same stack so far in this video. Going to the Giants again yesterday.
San Francisco?
I gotta. They were solid enough yesterday. No homers, but scored 7 runs. Like you can't be too upset about it. They've got JP Sears today. Gets pretty sizably dinged up against righties. 226 x ISO against righties so far this year. 17% K rate. Both of those numbers are a lot better against lefties, but it's not like he's great against lefties. 177 x ISO so far this season. And it's not new that he gives up power to righties. If you add in last year, 220 x ISO. So he's given up massive power. Giants aren't all that expensive. They have the 2nd highest top value score in our top stacks tool. They're 2nd in the top stack metric. They're 2nd in stack score. But for ownership, they have half of the ownership of the Chicago White Sox who are playing in Coors today. White Sox are like 15% owned in the aggregate. The Giants, the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the Braves, they're all like 8%. So we're getting basically the same ownership as like 5 other teams. We're not the chalkiest team, but we grade out as the best version of any of the teams in the same ownership area. I want to attack as many righties as I can. Ramos, Adames, Flores, Patrick Bailey, Tyler Fitzgerald if you want to hit second base. Obviously, there's not an issue with going to someone like Devers because whether it's lefty or not, I just assume Devers is going to mash JP Sears more than Sears mows down Rafael Devers. So we did it yesterday. It was a solid enough stack, but getting to go into Oakland, or I guess Oakland in quotes, not technically Oakland, but
now I believe
Sutter Health Park, 110 park factor so far this year for power. It's a massive hitters park, 111 overall park factor. It's been the 2nd best offensive park this season behind Coors. It's 1 point in park factor behind Coors. And yet Coors is getting double the ownership today. This one's easy for me. We're going right back to the Giants.
And I'll do you one better, man. At home this year, 3.34 home runs per 9 allowed for JP Sears.
We're going to get something good today.
Demolished. Yeah, demolished. All right. 22% ground ball rate at home, 57% fly ball rate. You have to do it. I like that pick a lot. It's a unique slate because you have 7 teams with a 5.3 run total or higher, and 12 of 16 teams with a 4.5 run total or higher. So, we're gonna, you're gonna have to do. We're really just gonna have to kind of tiptoe around some of these landmines at pitcher and hope we don't hit them. And Eric Lauer is one of them. Erod, I think, is a good play. Really, we need Strider to come through because the massive chalk that he is, if he doesn't kind of anchor a lineup like this, it could be trouble. But I love it, dude. Let's run the single lineup sim, see what we come up with. And remember, 50% off any weekly or monthly sub you want. Code USA, link in the description. Today is the last day. And happy 4th of July. Let's run it, baby.
So we've got Strider in. We've got Lauer in. I went Flores, Fitzgerald, Devers, Adames, Helio Ramos. That rounds out our stack in the single lineup simulator. The only thing we have to do at this point is click complete this lineup to find out who are the optimal 3 spots that we fill in at catcher and our 2 outfield spots. And we have 4,400 for each remaining spot. We have a ton of salary left over. This should look pretty good. And I think that it does. Victor Caratini in at catcher, Andrew Benintendi as one of our outfield spots, and Shohei Ohtani as the final outfield spot. Only thing left to do, run lineup simulation and find out just how good does this lineup look. And it's a gem. 40% sim ROI, 0.1% chance for the win, 1.7% chance at a top 10 lineup, and a 38% cash rate. This is going to set you guys up perfectly for the 4th of July. I hope you guys have an incredible holiday. Make sure you're signing up using the promo link in the description. And for those of you wondering who won the free week for yesterday's games, we're giving out 2 of them on Monday, for Thursday and for Friday. So don't miss it. Make sure you're building today in the single lineup sim after using that promo code so that you can get a perfect lineup.